Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day trying to get caught up on some of our requests here from our community. Thanks again for requesting these here, folks. Sorry if I've been very much behind on these, honestly. It's been kind of a crazy week for me personally, but either way, STORJ is one of these requests from Grease Monkey Dave, one of our phenomenal, fantastic, awesome community members. Thank you, sir, for being part of the movement. Let's go ahead and take a look at some back-end liquidation levels first. If I'm not mistaken, I think STORJ is available here on High Block Capital. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at liquidation levels first, and then we're going to kind of understand where we're at with the overall trend here, because it's got a tremendous amount of volume here today, and that is substantial, something we want to kind of pay attention to. But again, it's a I don't want to use the words pump and dump loosely, but this coin absolutely has the qualities of just kind of moving fast and then instantly turning around. So I would obviously want to recommend using a lot of caution when taking trades, because as you can see here, this kind of monumental drop, that's obvious manipulation. Like, that shouldn't happen, because people like you and I are not selling everything all at once like that, right? That's quite obvious. A market maker that bought in somewhere in this range is now selling to their fair value gap or something along those lines. Either way you look at it, we got a lot more liquidation on the downside between 45 and 56 cents, and just something that is essentially worth noting, okay? So further downside would make sense, considering, especially since it looks like it's working its way into a bearish rectangle type of pattern. These are usually not conducive to the overall sense, especially that in combination with Bitcoin. I feel personally, again, I'm probably wrong on this. I hope I'm wrong, but Bitcoin does feel like it wants to pull back a little bit. Anyways, we can see this reflected here. 1, 3, 7, so 10, 1 is somewhere in the range of $1.5 billion in liquidation between 45 cents and 55 cents. Just as a rough estimate. I can count that up later, but at this point here, we can see the delta for shorts is pretty high, implying we may see a bit of a sweep to the upside to retest that upper range. A lot of times when you get range-bound activity, you can see the ebbs and flows pretty consistent there. So with the short liquidation delta being kind of consistent, it would make sense for the price to recover and bounce from here, pending Bitcoin doesn't drop. Okay, same thing here as well. We can see open interest, 65 cents is the heaviest amount of interest there, minus the 62 cents. No matter how you look at it, late longs are pretty much just got destroyed. Okay, so try not to be a late long on this coin, or if you're going to be taking long positions on coins like this, just for the love of everything that is awesome in life, use a trailing stop loss, use a stop loss, something that helps you secure profits as the price goes up, because there's nothing worse than being like, super in profit. Now you're like in the red all of a sudden because you were just being greedy, or you didn't set a stop loss because you're going to go to sleep, and then you're just like, oh, I'll figure it out in the morning. Never do that. You'll learn your lesson, trust me. It's just the kind of the way it goes. So let's go ahead and draw out a trend line here, kind of see what's going on. Obviously, we've broken our descending trend with a bullish back test-ish, kind of, sort of. I guess it depends on how you draw it out here. But generally speaking, you can see the price breaking free from this lower high pattern, establishing higher highs, and now it's off to the races, okay? It doesn't matter too much now, but it's good to identify that that is a real thing, or that's a present scenario with this coin or other coins in general, because I like to make sure that you understand and you learn how to trade and how this works, right? In other words, when you see this kind of thing happen, make sure that you understand it's important to identify those things when it's occurring, because not like it's a guarantee, but the likelihood of breakout once you break free from that lower low, lower high pattern, generally quite high. Okay, so daily time frame, what's going on here? Well, we're coming back down to reality, back to life, back to reality, as I say, right? I forget who's saying that. Maybe you could comment below and let me know. Is it Salt and Pepper? I don't know. Either way you look at it, it's one of those ones where the price action is pulling back down to 70. When you see that, usually construed as a take profit target for any kind of long that you have. And if you got into a long at any point between 35 and 50 cents, you should have secured profits by now. I don't know how else to reiterate it, because look at these candles here. This is an ugly candle. Sorry, that's the candle, but this is an ugly amount of volume. Not something that you generally want to trade into at this point. So me personally, when I see this happen, it seems a lot more likely the price is going to pull back than go up at this point. Again, just from a bird's eye view, but either way, you should have secured profits by now if you haven't already. That's generally what that tells us, but when we look at the moving averages, we're above every single moving average. So the truth is the price could and should continue higher, but my guess is it'll continue a lot lower first. So it's just kind of the consensus there. Let's see where we're at here. Let's draw out some fibs here. We're probably in the 0.618.5 range, which is exactly where we're at. Basically just testing that 0.5 level. That 60-cent range is the tentative support and or resistance, okay? Now again, fib levels are not specific or always exact, folks. Try to understand that. If you're following, somebody that teaches only Elliott Wave, I think you're doing it way wrong. No offense to anyone else that does that, but Elliott Wave is a good theory, but it's exactly that. It's all it is on its own. You need other complementing factors. So please try not to be so unilateral in your thought process there, regardless of how awesome the risk management is there. Elliott Wave is always right until it's wrong. Same thing with trend lines too. That's why you consistently draw them out. All right. Again, I know it seems probably hypocritical how I describe that, but if you understand anything about trading, you'll know what I mean by that. Looking at the multiple moving averages here, we can see every single one of them below the price action minus the 20. When you break below the 20-day SMA, it's generally an eye opener, right? One eyebrow should go higher than the other. It's like, okay, I'm curious now. You've got me curious. We've broken that ascending trend. We're no longer blindly taking long positions. We should be careful in taking a long now. That's really what it's telling us. So while we are establishing higher highs and higher lows, still kind of ish, I don't really like what I see here. Generally, this is a bad sign. We are also testing 50 on the RSI, letting us know that, hey, we are back to reality here, but the likelihood of breaking down is greater because we keep knocking on that door. So my speculation is that STORJ is going to continue lower. MACD is diverging. Trend strength indication is coming down. We've got our local point of control here at about 60 cents even. Again, that 0.5 fib level, kind of that area of confluence. So closure below that would probably be bearish, right? Wouldn't that make sense? 1 and 1 is 2. Take a look here. We're below the cloud now for 3 hours, bearish sign. Lagging spans free and clear of the price action, bearish. Stochastic, sorry, not stochastic, but similar in efforts. We can see the conversion line, the baseline. It's way below the baseline. So all that being said, there is no reason to take a long position with this coin. Absolutely not, especially pending the current market. I would say a short, you're going to find some significant success here just based on the way that it's behaving. Once more, until it breaks free from this channel, I wouldn't necessarily recommend a trade, but as we see here, liquidation points down. All the indicators on the smaller time frames point down. The only thing that's conflicting is the daily time frame, and while it's extremely bullish in the overall sense, how can it not be with all this extra volume coming in? So I still think there's potential for further upside for STORJ in the bigger picture. This tells us that right now. But the truth is there's a lot of movement likely to the downside between now and then that should occur before that happens. Okay, so just something to think about. I hope this makes sense and I described this correctly. Thanks again so much for watching. I hope you find benefit or found it. Moving forward, find it in other videos. If you decide you want to like, subscribe, follow, enable alerts, all that stuff. Links down below for that, of course. The other thing that's equally as important, and this is for my community members, take advantage of this exclusive benefit from Bitunix. It's an exchange that we use as a community. We've been using them for over a year now. They're excellent, no KYC or VPN required. Simple deposit rewards every few months, so they're really awesome with that. If you're new to the community, jump on board, check them out, see if you like them. Thanks again for your time. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.